Ugh, that party was a nightmare.
Rainbow Dash thought as she slipped into her cloud home after the grand gallop in Gala.
I managed to talk to the Wonderbolts for all of 2 seconds, and then they ignored me for the rest of the night. Is this the thanks I get for saving their lives?
She went to her cloud bed and bucked it a few times to relive some of her anger. Luckily, it wasn't charged with electricity, otherwise the sound her house would make would reach all the way to Ponyville. Not that it would matter to her. She doesn't care if she wakes some pony up right now. She finally got on her bed and grunted. She was so annoyed she didn't realize she hasn't taken off her dress yet. Though Rarity did try and make it almost as light as clouds, and for the most part succeeded. She turned over and closed her eyes, thinking,
The only good part of that night was when we all went to Donut Joe's. But my only chance for a while to impress the Wonderbolts were wasted.
A knock sounded on the door, and if it is possible to think with venom in your thoughts, Dash did just that.
Whatever pony is knocking better have some good reason to be here right now. Otherwise they'll take a lightning bolt to the head.
She opened the door and outside stood the stallion she just recently met. Soarin stood outside Dash's door, grinning. When Rainbow Dash saw him, she first had her inevitable fangirl squee from being in front of a Wonderbolt. But then she remembered that he ignored her at the gala, and then she became angry.
What are you doing here?
She asked Soarin in an accusatory tone.
Hi, Rainbow Dash, right?
Soarin said. Rainbow Dash just tapped her hoof impatiently.
Well, what happened to you at the gala? After we went to the VIP section, I got into a chat and completely lost you.
What happened? You completely ignored me.
Rainbow Dash said.
I was trying to get your attention the entire time, but you didn't notice me.
You were?
Soarin asked, and at that point Dash wanted to do a face hoof.
Sorry, I seriously didn't know.
How could you not have?
Rainbow Dash asked.
Well, I'm used to having so many mares and fillies trying to get my attention that I usually just ignore them.
Soarin said in his defense.
So I just drowned you out just like I usually do. Sorry about that.
Well, he is a Wonderbolt. I guess if I had thousands of fans, I'd end up drowning out eventually too. And boy, will I enjoy the day that happens. Fine then. But I'm still wondering what you're doing here. Shouldn't you be with the rest of the Wonderbolts?
Rainbow Dash asked.
Not really. From what I've heard, after the gala we get a few days off to relax, so I can sleep in tomorrow if I want to.
Soarin said.
Or you could have visited me tomorrow when I'm not tired and annoyed. But I probably should stop whining as much as Rarity. I have a Wonderbolt in front of my house. This should be the best night of my life.
And so I'm here.
Soarin continued.
Because I didn't really get a chance to chat with you. I figured it'd be interesting to talk to the mare that not only saved my life, but also my pie.
So I really did impress the Wonderbolts? This is so awesome!
Rainbow Dash was just about to speak, but she ended up yawning instead. Soarin also yawned at the same time.
It's getting really late. I want to chat with him, but I can't. I don't know what to say or something stupid and miss my chance.
Dash sighed and said,
Listen, Soarin. As much as I would love to chat with you, it's getting way too late. I should really head to bed.
Well, maybe we could chat tomorrow. I still have that day off.
Disappointed, Dash said,
Yeah, but I don't. And as much as I would love to blow off work to hang with you, my boss is already... Wait, I can't tell him that. To get some storms moving in, we'll need my help. Great save there. I almost told him that my boss is already angry at me for being lazy. This is why I can't be talking to him overnight. Who knows what stupid thing I'll say?
Oh, okay.
Soarin also seemed disappointed.
Well, maybe we could write to each other.
Do you know what the postal fee to Canterlot is?
Rainbow Dash rhetorically asked him.
I can't pay for that from my work salary.
I'll give you a few bits in my letter to pay it for you,
Soarin said.
Really?
Rainbow Dash asked.
Are you sure you'll be able to? Is he really willing to do all this for me? Why?
Don't worry about it.
Soarin said.
Being a Wonderbolt pays well. I have more money than I know what to do with. I still owe you for that pie, so it's the least I could do. Well, I better let you get your sleep. I'll write to you later, Rainbow Dash.
Thanks, Soarin.
Rainbow Dash said as Soarin flew off. When he was a safe distance away, Rainbow Dash screamed out at the top of her lungs.
Oh my gosh, a Wonderbolt wants to be pen pals with me. This is so awesome!
Keep it down!
A pony called out.
Some of us are trying to get some sleep here.
Sorry.
Rainbow Dash called out, before heading inside and going to bed. From that moment on, Rainbow Dash and Soarin were in constant commutation with each other. They would usually send letters between each other once a week, talking about various things. From those letters, Rainbow Dash figured out quickly that Soarin is a big goofball. He also doesn't tend to take things too seriously, to which Dash pointed out in one of her letters. He replied,
Well, I do take my job seriously. I'm in a position that many Pegasus dream of, and I will never forget it or take it for granted. You probably already figured this out, but getting into the Wonderbolt isn't easy. So, now that I'm in that position, I want to make the most that I can.
When Rainbow Dash saw that, it got her thinking.
I guess when I become a Wonderbolt, I'll need to not take it for granted either. After all, I'm still not a Wonderbolt even after all I've done. And I've helped save the world twice now. The Wonderbolt should be begging to have me by now. But because I have to actually work for it, that will make it even more rewarding when I finally get it in.
Rainbow Dash just got word in the mail that the Ponyville weather team was supposed to bring water to Cloudsdale tomorrow, and that Spitfire would be watching them. She managed to get the Pegasi together in training, but she had a few mishaps with Fluttershy and her shyness. So Dash was annoyed and ready to get some sleep for tomorrow, when she got a knock on her door.
Somepony better have some good reason for knocking.
Rainbow Dash thought angrily.
Because otherwise I'm gonna give him a nice kick to the face.
She kicked open the door and yelled,
What?
When she saw that it was Soarin on the other side, she said,
What's up, Soar? I don't mind the visit, but you could have written me first so you could let me know about it. So that I don't actually smack you in one of these days when I'm annoyed.
Well, Dashy,
Soarin said, to which Rainbow Dash rolled her eyes at his use of Pinky's pet name.
Though I can't really blame him since I used his pet name.
I got the day off tomorrow because Spitfire's gonna be gone. So I thought I'd come over and see if you want to do that race I promised you tomorrow.
Dash rolled her eyes and said,
Soarin, tell me why Spitfire's going to be gone tomorrow.
Well, Cloudsdale needs water, so Spitfire's gonna oversee the event.
Soarin said.
And where is Cloudsdale getting its water from?
Rainbow Dash asked, waiting for Soarin to get it.
Well, I only really heard it in passing, but if I remember hearing it right, it's from a reservoir in Ponyville. Oh.
Soarin got it.
Sorry, Dash.
Soarin apologized.
It's okay, Soarin.
Rainbow Dash replied.
Hey, how about I make it up to you?
Soarin said.
How about I help you guys get the water flowing into Cloudsdale tomorrow?
No, Soarin.
Rainbow Dash answered.
Spitfire will obviously recognize you. And then I'll have to just do the task with the Wonderbolt's help. I need to prove myself and win with my weather team and my weather team alone. So I can't accept your offer.
Oh, I understand.
Soarin said.
I'll be watching and cheering for you from afar.
From afar?
Rainbow Dash asked.
What's wrong, Soar? Afraid I'll fail and embarrass you?
Nah, Dashy.
Soarin said.
I have full confidence in you, but in case I'm wrong, I'll be far, far away where no pony can see me.
Well, that makes me feel so much better.
Rainbow Dash said sarcastically.
Thanks, Soarin.
No problem.
Soarin said as they both stood there laughing.
But seriously,
Dash said as they calmed down with their laughter.
thanks for the support, Soarin. You don't need to be there because according to Twilight, friends have a connection to each other, even if we're not right next to each other. So your support is all I need.
You're welcome, Dash.
Soarin said.
I better let you get some sleep so you can do your best tomorrow. See you later, Dashy.
Bye, Soar.
Dash said. Soarin was standing on a cliff face watching the water tornado spiral up towards Cloudsdale. The tornado was close, but just barely missing how much it needs to reach Cloudsdale, and it doesn't seem to be going any higher anytime soon.
Come on, Dash, just a little bit more.
Soarin mumbled. Yet the tornado continued swirling just below Cloudsdale and was not going any higher. Soarin spread his wings and was about to take off to join the fray, but he held himself back.
Dash will probably resent me if I join in. I don't want her to get angry at me, but still, come on, Dash.
It took a bit longer, but eventually the tornado finally hit Cloudsdale. Soarin breathed a sigh of relief when it hit and then said,
Thanks, Celestia, she did it.
He looked back up to the tornado and watched as it drained all the water into Cloudsdale. After it was done, Soarin lifted off and looked onward, waiting for a good time to congratulate Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash was heading to her house and getting ready to relax her wings. But before doing that, she breathed a loud sigh and then said to herself,
Ugh, that was close.
It sure was,
said a voice from above her. Dash looked up to see Soarin descending next to her.
I almost thought you weren't going to make it there,
Soarin continued.
Yeah, well, thanks to Fluttershy, we managed.
Rainbow Dash told Soarin.
Didn't break the record, but oh well. At least we managed to get it there with how many Pegasus got sick. Thanks, by the way, Soarin.
Thanks for what?
Soarin asked.
Well, first off, for supporting me.
Rainbow Dash said.
But mostly for not flying in when you thought I was gonna fail. While I appreciate that you want to help me, I like to do things on my own and prove myself on my own. If I'm going to be a Wonderbolt one day, I'll need to get it in my own with no pony there helping me.
Okay, I understand.
In a less serious tone, Soarin said.
So if you're ever going to get hurt or kidnapped, I'll make sure you get out your own without any help.
You better not.
Rainbow Dash said.
After I saved your life, you better make sure to save mine.
On it, Dashy.
Soarin said with a salute and a laugh.
So, anyways, Soar, since we've done so much today, I'm pretty sure I have the day off for tomorrow. You want to have that race you promised me then?
Rainbow Dash asked.
You might even have a shot at beating me since I'm still tired from yesterday.
If I could get Spitfire to give me the day off, sure. We don't have any shows anytime soon, so she might. But I'll have to check just to make sure, since I don't want to miss any day of practice.
Soarin said.
You really take your work seriously.
Rainbow Dash pointed out.
Remind me to try doing that at some point at some time. But then again, pushing clouds around all day gets boring fast, and being a Wonderbolt, I get to practice tricks all day.
Well, yeah. I think I already told you why.
I got it, Soarin. Well, we'll see if Spitfire lets you off. If not, I guess we'll have to hold off on that race for a bit longer.
Yeah, I'll go see him then come back and tell you just so you're not waiting all day tomorrow for me.
Soarin said before spreading his wings.
See you in a few, Dashy.
Later, Soar.
Dash said as he flew off. Spitfire was just about to head en route to Canterlot when Soarin caught up with her. When she saw Soarin, she asked him,
Hey, Soarin, what are you doing all the way out here?
Just visiting a friend. Anyways, I just wanted to ask you if I could take the day off tomorrow. I know we normally don't get days off, but I wanted to spend a bit more time with one of my friends since I don't normally get a chance to see them. And we don't have another show for a while, so...
Spitfire thought about it for a few minutes before saying,
I would, but I really don't like having multiple days without practice, and I refuse to have practice without the entire team there. But you have been working quite hard for us, so I'll see if I can find a day off for you in the future.
Soarin's face fell.
Okay, Spitfire. I understand. I'll see you in Canterlot.
Soarin took off, leaving Spitfire to think.
I wonder who that goofball would want to take time off to visit here anyways. I've noticed him writing letters to Ponyville, yet I haven't asked him yet who exactly he's sending those letters to. Whoever it was, they must be a really good friend if... I think he started writing to them after the Gala. The only pony I remember from Ponyville was Rainbow Dash? I know she saved his pie, but could Soarin have a crush on Rainbow Dash? If he does, well, I feel bad about taking this chance of spending some time with her away. But I have a team to think about, though I do have to make it up to him somehow. Knowing Soarin, he probably hasn't realized he has a crush on her yet, so I'll see what I can do about giving him just a little push.
Spitfire thought about that for a few seconds before flying towards Canterlot. The changeling invasion of Canterlot caused a bit of destruction in the Wonderbolt headquarters, but luckily because it is one of the last places they attacked, the changelings didn't cause too much damage before they were dispelled by the barrier. The Wonderbolts themselves survived with only a few bruises and not too much damage, though the question on every pony's mind was whether the wedding that was supposed to be taking place now was going to be postponed or not. Not that it really mattered to most of them, because they weren't performing at the wedding and only a few were attending the after-party, one of whom wasn't Soarin, or at least, he didn't think he was. Spitfire walked into the headquarters saying,
Hey Everpony, I just checked in and the wedding is going on later today.
That was naturally met with various levels of enthusiasm, depending on whether they were going or not. Soarin was one of those that gave a semi-unenthusiastic response, though he still made sure to give his usual jokes.
That's good news for those of us that are going. Got any good news for those of us aren't?
Aw, I thought you would enjoy that news. After all, I heard that the mare that saved your pie during the gala is gonna be there.
Spitfire said.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help me that I'm not going.
Soarin said.
Really?
Spitfire asked mysteriously.
Well then, I guess the invitation I got for you is going to waste then. Oh well, I guess I'll just see if some pony else wants it.
You got me an invitation?
Soarin asked, his face lighting up.
Yeah. As I said before, you've been working so hard for us since you joined, so this is just a bit of my gratitude. Now go get your suit and get ready to go.
Thanks, Spitfire!
Soarin said before heading to his quarters. After Soarin left for his room, Wave Chill walked up to Spitfire and asked her,
So, why are you feeling generous today? I know you well enough to know that you have a reason for giving him that invitation. One that doesn't involve him just working hard.
Spitfire smiled mischievously and said,
I might have a good reason or two.
I'm going to assume that one of those reasons has something to do with the mare that saved Soarin's pie.
Wave Chill asked.
Maybe.
Spitfire answered cryptically.
Let's just say I think Soarin needs a little push and I'm helping him out with that.
Rainbow Dash was at the after-party of the wedding. Vinyl Scratch and Pinkie Pie were at the DJ stand mixing up some beats, and Twilight was at the microphone singing a song called Love is in Bloom. Every pony was dancing around the bride and groom, and Rainbow Dash was no exception. Then every pony dispersed around the place. Rainbow Dash was enjoying herself dancing when she literally bumped into Soarin.
Soarin, you're here!
Rainbow Dash said.
You know, if we're going to be at the same place, you could write and tell me so we can meet up.
Well, I would've,
Soarin said.
But I didn't even know I was going myself. I just got the invitation from Spitfire today, so I wasn't able to tell you. But now that I'm here, do you want to dance?
Really?
Rainbow Dash asked, surprised.
Are you sure there isn't another mare here you want to dance with? Don't you have a filly friend?
Nah, I don't have one yet. Thought about dating Spitfire once, but I found it too awkward. Me dating my captain would feel really weird. How about you? Any cult friends?
Soarin asked.
Not really.
Rainbow Dash admitted.
I was once thinking about dating a Pegasus from Ponyville called Thunderlane, but then that jerk ditched work on bringing that tornado to Cloudsdale by pretending to be sick.
So then, you don't mind dancing with me?
Soarin asked.
Of course I don't mind.
Rainbow Dash said. The two of them started dancing, and while in the middle of it, somepony took their picture together. After they recovered from the flash of the camera, they both looked around to see who took their picture, but they couldn't find them in time. Whoever the camera pony was had disappeared into the crowd.
Oh great, now the gossip magazines are going to be talking about this and ponies are going to think we're together.
Rainbow Dash said.
Reputation is going to be ruined.
Soarin took it with a laid-back attitude.
I'm not worried. The Wonderbolts don't have any rules against dating non-Wonderbolts. So I doubt Pony's thinking that we're together is going to affect me much. Plus, you are a possible upcomer for the Wonderbolts, so why would Pony think about it? Besides, maybe we are.
Rainbow Dash's face became thoughtful at the last thing Soarin said.
Are we?
Rainbow Dash asked.
Well, I enjoy being around you. The jokes we make between each other keep me laughing every time I meet you. You're a high flyer with the high spirits, and I'm always anticipating your letters to me. Heck, I once accidentally ran into this one guy because I was distracted waiting for one of your letters.
I enjoy the times I get to see you too. At first it was just because you were a Wonderbolt, but then as we went on, you became a really good friend to me. But dating...
Rainbow Dash thought about it for a few seconds to find the words.
I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, I like you, and we would make a good couple, but I'm not sure about it. I'm in Ponyville and you're in Canterlot. We only can talk with each other in letters we send to each other once a week. Not sure that we can keep it up over such a long distance. But I'll think about it.
Rainbow Dash continued.
I would love for us to be together.
Well, at least he didn't shoot me down completely.
Soarin said. His voice was a bit down, but he still tried to keep his usual cheer.
And hey, at least you're not being as brash as you usually are.
Well, you're my main worry. I'm the element of loyalty, so I wouldn't go out to find any pony else. Whereas you're a big star Wonderbolt and mares and fillies trying to get your attention.
Rainbow Dash said, mostly joking. Yet at the same time, she accidentally said exactly what she was worried about. Soarin picked up on that. He was about to say something to assure her, but he couldn't think of anything to say. Because while he didn't believe he would cheat on Dash, it was a valid concern considering his fans. He could easily forget about Rainbow Dash with how far away she is, and he could very easily pick up another mare. And he can do nothing to prove otherwise.
I guess you're right,
Soarin said.
Don't worry, I understand.
The party was slowly fading away and dying, so it was time for the two to depart from each other. They both left on an awkward and sad note, neither one knowing what to say next, so they left without saying anything else. Rainbow Dash was just waking up for the morning. At this point in time, she would be anticipating a letter from Soarin, but after their awkward split-up during the wedding, they haven't sent letters between each other. They just couldn't think of anything to talk about, so it was just best they didn't even write. Rainbow Dash wasn't really sure of her feelings, but she found it best just not to think of it and continue on as usual. She was about to go out and start her job, but Derpy burst into her house suddenly. After Rainbow Dash did her obvious scream, which Derpy completely ignored, Derpy said,
"Here's a weekly muffin."
Before taking a letter out of one of her saddlebags and giving it to Rainbow Dash. Derpy then burst out of Rainbow Dash's house the same way she came in. Rainbow Dash looked over the letter and saw that it was from Canterlot.
Could it possibly be from...
Rainbow Dash asked herself. She quickly opened up the letter and read it.
Dear Rainbow Dash, you're right. As a Wonderbolt, I could easily forget you and find another mare. But you know what? After thinking about it over the weeks, I decided something. I won't, because I only have eyes for you, Rainbow Dash. Ever since we left, I was thinking about it, and I decided that I would go to the ends of the earth to prove myself to you. If I have to, I will even quit my job as a Wonderbolt just to be with you. I'll be at the reservoir that you lift up the water for Cloudsdale. Come there and name whatever you want to do to prove myself, and I'll do it. If you don't show, then I'll take that as a sign you don't trust me, and I'll understand. Until then, I'll be waiting. And if I don't see you there, then goodbye, Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow Dash looked over that letter several times before putting it down. She stood there in shock for a while just thinking about it. After having a realization of how far Soarin will really go, Rainbow Dash immediately lifted off for the reservoir. Soarin was exactly where he said he would be, looking to the skies. He saw Rainbow Dash come in, and immediately as she landed, Soarin asked her,
So what do you want me to do for you, Rainbow Dash?
Rainbow Dash came up to him and gave him a quick hug.
You don't have to do anything for me. You've already proven yourself.
What?
Soarin asked, not expecting that.
In your letter, you told me that you would give up the Wonderbolts for me. I know how much you take your job seriously, and I like your job, so for you to give it up just for me already proves your loyalty.
Rainbow Dash explained.
So, does that mean?
Soarin asked, but he was cut off by Rainbow Dash.
Hey, Soarin, you want to do that race you promised me now?
Rainbow Dash asked, a mischievous smile on her face.
Yeah, I guess.
Soarin said, still surprised about how things are going down.
Good. So do you want to make things interesting?
How?
How about we make a bet?
Rainbow Dash looked directly in Soarin's eyes.
Let's say the loser kisses the winner. How about that, Soar?
Soarin took that as confirmation to his original question. He smiled back to her and said,
Bring it on!